Okay, hello everybody. David Williams. Welcome to the Monday Night Mastermind. Today is Monday, November 10th. Want to make sure, can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
All right, I appreciate it. Okay, so today is Monday, November 10th, Monday Night Mastermind. I'm here with my other three partners, Joshua Bayless and Jason Lockhart. And we've given a part of a continuous series of Make You a Leader in the online marketing and network marketing industry. And so it's very, very important that you lock into our trainings and you try to apply everything that we're talking about, because it's going to put you in the best position to be successful. Not being engaged and not taking action on what we're talking about is really going to put you in a position where you're going to get left behind and you're constantly going to struggle and you're going to worry, how come I can't have the success that I desire? And it's really going to be based around the fact that you're not taking the information that is available to you and applying it and moving forward with it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm bringing part 2 of this series I was doing, and it's called the Newbie Trap. And it's really about people that are not newbies just primarily based around how long they've been in the industry, but newbies based around where they're at personally in their growth and their understanding of the business of online marketing and network marketing. And so the second part of the Newbie Trap is that it's all about sales. And this is something that's really, really important that you need to understand, that when you're in business, one of the primary responsibilities that you have as a business owner is to get sales. And this transitions from the first part of the Newbie Trap. I said that you need to understand why you're here. Because if you're here for another reason than to get sales, you're really not here to do business. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, because you may just want to be an opportunity because you like the culture and you want to hang out. But if you're not trying to get sales, if that is not your primary responsibility of your business, then you're really not in business. And so what we want to do is we go ahead and play this slideshow, is we want to transition to the major points of this particular topic. And so ask yourself, why is a sales process so important? And the reason why a sales process is so important is because if you don't have a sales process and you're not making sales, then you're really not in business. So you're going to always be in the red, or you're just going to be essentially having a hobby, not a business. And you see a lot of people in the online marketing, the network marketing industry, where they really don't have a sales process. And they haven't been taught a sales process, and they never realized, I need to create a sales process. So they wake up every morning and they do things in their business that don't really contribute to getting a sale. And this is something that really affected me when I first came into this industry, because I was taught that, well, it's all about marketing. So I would wake up every day and learn marketing strategies and never learn how to generate a sale. And I couldn't figure out why I was not having the success that I desired until I was finally able to speak to someone, and they explained to me that you don't have a sales process. You don't have a way to introduce somebody to your product opportunity. You don't have a way to find out if the product opportunity fits their needs, and then have a way to close them and get them to decide whether or not they want to buy what you have to offer, or they don't want to buy what you have to offer. So you can part ways with that person and move on to the next person. I didn't have a process to do that. So I was marketing, but didn't have a process to generate a sale. And that is why, to me personally, why I'm so passionate about this, is I think this is the real reason why so many people are failing, is because they don't have a sales process. And a lot of them are not even aware that they need a sales process. They think stuff like, I just have to share the opportunity. Well, sharing the opportunity is not a sales process. So therefore, you're going to get that buzzer that you used to hear at the end of a Family Feud when the person answers a question wrong, because that's not a sales process. It's not sharing the opportunity. Or they think that, this opportunity will sell itself. Again, you're going to get the Family Feud buzzer, because this opportunity will not sell itself. You need to learn what a sales process is. And part of the marketing in this industry is to get newbies, whether they're new to the industry or they're new mentally, to believe that you don't have to really learn salesmanship to be successful. And I want you to really understand something. The person that got you to believe that you don't need to learn salesmanship to be successful. Utilize salesmanship to get you to believe that. And once you really start to understand, you can start to unravel and unwind a lot of these falsehoods that are going around this industry. You cannot be successful in business if you're not practicing some form of salesmanship. And there's different methods of salesmanship, but you need to be practicing some form of salesmanship to generate sales into your business. And this is why sales process is so important. If you do not create a sales process, you can buy training after training. You can go to all the mindset calls you want to go to. You can go to all the retreats you want to go to. You can go to every event from here to Kingdom Come. And at the end of the day, you're never going to make any money in your business. You're always going to be in the red instead of being in the black. And you're going to be frustrated, and eventually you're going to run out of funding because you've never developed a sales process. And a lot of people are scared to speak about a sales process, which is why a lot of opportunities focus on everything else but trying to get you to understand the value of salesmanship. However, they're utilizing salesmanship to get you to buy all the products. They're utilizing salesmanship and a sales process to get you to go to the events. They're utilizing salesmanship and the sales process to keep you inside the company. So this is why this is very important. So we're going to transition to what is your sales process? What are you doing in your business to generate a sale? And if you can't answer that question, then you don't have a sales process. It has to be a process. It can't be something that's random. Like if I ask you today, how do I cook a pound cake? There's a process to cook a pound cake. You don't get in the kitchen and start guessing about how to cook a pound cake. Or the result will be you don't have a pound cake. Or the pound cake doesn't taste right. Or the flour never rises. That's what happens when you don't have a process. So there is a process to generate a sale. However, I'm going to repeat, part of the salesmanship of this industry is to get newbies to believe that they can be successful without creating a sales process. And once you understand that, you can understand one of the reasons why you may have been unsuccessful, because you're operating under a falsehood. So what is your sales process? What are you doing to get sales into your business? Are you utilizing a method in which you contact 30 people a day on Facebook, and then you essentially screen them through conversation and find out if they're the right people for your opportunity of service? And if they are, then you present the opportunity of service to them. And every day you're reaching out to 30 people. And that's your process, is to do that every day, excluding Sundays in which you may rest. Or you have an automated funnel set up, and you use Facebook pay-per-click to get people to that funnel. And essentially you're just playing a numbers game. However, your traffic is so targeted, you feel like if I can get the right people to go to this funnel, eventually I can close sales. Or you do the three foot rule. Well, every person that comes within 3 feet of you, you talk to them about your opportunity. Or you're doing drop cards, and you feel like, well, I can just put enough drop cards in a particular area. I can get people to click on to go to the link on the drop card, and then they get in contact with the automated sales funnel. But what is your process? Because once you have a process, then you can tweak and optimize the process that you're using to get sales. And you can get feedback on your process. But if you have no process and you're not doing anything, you're doing a whole bunch of different things that don't really fit in order and they're very haphazard, we can't optimize chaos. So if everything you're doing is based on just a bunch of random chaotic things, you can't optimize chaos, because when you optimize chaos, you just get more chaos. You don't get order. And you want your sales process to be orderly. It needs to be things that work in a particular order. And the best marketers in this industry, trust and believe, they have a sales process. They're so good at it, they make it look natural, but they're utilizing a sales process. So we want to transition into how to create a sales process. Okay? And what I would tell you, excuse me one second, let me get a drink of water. What I would tell you is this is a really big key for me. Because to create a sales process, I had to get a personal coach. And that personal coach talked about creating a sales process. When I was in an opportunity before that was something that was never discussed. What was discussed was a lot of marketing training. What was discussed was a lot of mastermind training. Personal mastery or mindset training. What was discussed was how I need to go to every event. What was never discussed was how to create a sales process. So the people that were always getting me to buy products, they were utilizing a sales process and salesmanship on me. And what I realized at one point is that, you know what, David, you don't have a process. You're waking up every morning and you're doing a bunch of random things hoping that they result in a sale. And you don't have a method that you do every day that is based around obtaining a sale, not just marketing. The marketing needs to result in a sale. If the marketing doesn't result in a sale, you change the marketing, because the marketing is part of your sales process. So I found a personal coach, and we started to create a sales process. And then I also started, what I'm learning now is how to create a initial offer, then split it off to a one-time offer, then have a downsell and an upsell off the one-time offer. And it's really not that difficult because of technology. However, what I was originally taught was just to get people to a video, and if I can get enough people to a video, eventually somebody will buy. However, after so much time, if everybody's seen the video, that's no longer an effective process. And then you must either optimize and tweak that process, or you have to do a different process. And one of the reasons why it's so important that you learn the sales process is because you can now discern that just running people to a video will not work 2 years later as well as it worked the first month the video was released. However, if you don't even know what a sales process is, that salesmanship of all you have to do is get people to a video will work on you because you don't know any better. So creating a sales process a lot of times will result in finding somebody who is willing to teach you about sales processes. And they're not trying to sell you a product. They're not trying to get you to come to an event. They're not trying to get you to join an opportunity. They just deal in the area of sales processes. And that's very important, because once you can create those yourself, you can sell anything. So we want to transition into, don't fall into the newbie trap of not understanding and not believing that you need a sales process. Don't fall into the newbie trap of thinking that all I have to do is share this opportunity with people. Okay? Because it may look like a person is successful because all they're doing is sharing the opportunity. But once you start to get a better understanding of salesmanship, you'll understand that they're utilizing salesmanship to get you to buy or to get other people to buy. It's not just as simple as telling somebody on Facebook, I'm selling this particular product or I'm selling this particular service, and it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, therefore you should join it also. There was a process to getting people to buy products. All businesses use them. Walmart uses it. Nike uses it. And you should look at your business the same way as you look at those businesses. One of the biggest issues people have in this industry is they don't want to look at this as a business. They want it to be a party. They want it to be a hangout. They want it to be all those things. And it's salesmanship that gets you to believe that this industry is based around that. It's not. This is business. And I want you to start putting your business hat on in the morning and operating like you're in a business. Once you get done with that, then you can go party and hang out on your free time. But your business time needs to be based around business. And part of that is creating a sales process, utilizing that sales process, optimizing and tweaking that so that the money that you're sinking into your business, you can double and triple that money on a return. At worst, you can break even. This is David W. Williams, Monday Night Mastermind, and I wanted to swing this back to Joshua to find out, are there any questions?
All right, can everybody hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm not seeing any questions in the chat. Jason, you got any questions from text or anything?
Yeah, I have one that is being typed right now, so if you all can keep talking, I'll...
Okay, well, that was a really awesome presentation, David. Now, I have a question. How does emails fit into the sales process?
Okay, so you're talking about like email follow-up?
Uh-huh.
Yes, the email follow will be part of like your back-end relationship building, because like we understand that a lot of people may not buy something on the first exposure. So when you have an email follow-up, okay, let me explain to you. Some people, like the true affiliate marketers, will just run people to an opportunity, and they're playing a numbers game that opportunity will convert at 1 to 2%. It can be very difficult to do that if you can't use, if you don't have the finances to scale at a very large level. So if you can't do $50,000 to $100,000 for traffic, it can be very difficult to play that game. So one thing you can do if you're working with a lot less capital is play the game of follow-up. Where your sales process is around introducing somebody to an opportunity, sending them to an opportunity link. They click on it. They may see some value in it. They put their email in, and then on the back end, you continue to follow up with why this particular service or product is good for them. So the follow-up aspect of your sales process can be very important, especially if you don't have, like I say, $50,000 to $100,000 to just run traffic to all day. However, there are some people that do that. Now, how you can enhance that particular sales process is on the front end, give them something of value that can entice them to give them your email address. So you're giving them value, giving them something first before you're asking something from them.
Right, like a giveaway.
Like a giveaway. You see, this is what we've been doing traditionally in online marketing is saying, give me your email, I give you the report. But what's working a lot better now is give them, let's say 50% of the report up front, then tell them if they want the other 50%, give them your email. And so that they're already being introduced to the value on the front end, now they're enticed to give you their email. Then when you get their email, you continue to follow up with why this particular product or service can solve their problem, take them away from the pain they're experiencing, or can give them pleasure. So that's how the email follow-up, it really contributes to your sales process.
Right. And the reason why
muted.
The reason why I had asked that particular question is because next week I'm going to be talking about copywriting, because I had the pleasure of masterminding with one of the best copywriters in the entire world. His name's Ben Settle. He's the guy that developed the sales copy for what was it? I forgot what it was, but I'll have that information next week.
Okay.
And very, very awesome stuff that I've got prepared for everybody this week. So if you can't make it to next week's webinar, you're going to want to see the recording, because this is like top of the line stuff. Very exciting, very exciting. We did get a question here in the chat. What do you suggest to promote with a very small budget? And also, how often do you send email to follow up?
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Joshua.
No, I was
Unmuted.
you.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and answer because I don't want to do a lot of follow-up. It's like small budget is relative. I know guys in this industry where small budget was $100,000. So small budget is relative to the person. So I would just give a general. I would say that the question was, what would I do to promote if I had a small budget? That was a question?
Yeah.
Okay.
She said, what
Muted.
do you suggest to promote with a small budget, and also how often do you send email to follow up?
Okay, I'll answer the back end first because that's very easy. I do emails every day, but it's based on the actual product or service I have. With some products, I believe that maybe a 10-day to 15-day follow-up series is appropriate, and after that, they're probably not going to buy. But then I would transition that person to my main daily follow-up. So if I'm selling one product, let's say I'm selling a diet pill or a diet or weight loss shake, I may have a 10 to 15-day follow-up. Okay? If I'm selling somebody into a business opportunity, I would have a much longer follow-up, because a lot of times, because of the price point of these biz ops, it can take a much longer follow-up series to convince the person that they want to buy from you. So it really is dependent upon the product or service that I'm buying, because if I'm selling a diet pill for $25, I would not do a 90-day follow-up series, because I want to just get as many people in front of that particular product as possible, and whether they decide to buy it or not, go on to the next group of people. With a BizOp where you have that much higher back end, I mean, I know people that have followed people for 2 years before they bought. But then because the person gave them so much value over 2 years, they came into the opportunity and they pretty much bought everything the person was selling. So it really is dependent upon what you're selling, what are the price points of what you're selling, depending on how long your follow-up should be. However, myself, I pretty much send an email out every day, excluding Sundays, because I'm a big proponent of email follow-up as a communication process, and I like to talk to my list every day. So I just got into the habit of just emailing my list every day, something of value to them or something funny, and then every once in a while I'm mingling something based around me trying to sell them something, and that's a big part of my sales process. Like I said before, a small budget is relative to who you are. So without them defining a small budget, what they call a small budget and what they would want to promote with a small budget, I really couldn't answer that. But what I would say is that promote something that is either that the sale of that particular product or service would be worth the time you're going to have to spend to put into it, or it would be worth money spent on advertising. Because I see a lot of people going into very low tier stuff because they feel comfortable doing that because it's low tier. However, then at the same time, it's not really worth the time they're going to have to spend to try to create a sales process to sell that. And this is a mistake a lot of people make, that, well, I can just buy into this program for $5 and it's a $10 product, and then I'm supposed to go on Facebook for 5 hours a day and promote a $10 product. Well, that's not really a good use of your time. You could be promoting a $100 product for 5 hours a day. So ask yourself, when you're going to look for something to promote, what is my time worth to me? And then that will kind of give you an idea of what you want to buy into or what you decide to promote.
Unmuted.
All right, and then the question I had that was on my end, they were asking, do you actually have a graphic of the sales process that you talked about, David?
No, I mean, I can create one for the group because I didn't talk about one in specific. So if they have a specific process that they want me to go ahead and give them a visual on, I can do that. Because I wasn't really talking about one specific one. I was just giving examples of certain processes and trying to get them to understand that you have to come up with something, as opposed to just thinking that I can wake up in the morning and just post my link to Facebook and go back to sleep and I'm going to get sales.
All right, and just adding on to that, they ask, do you have like a generic one, or does it have to be, product specific?
Yeah, you will want your sales process to kind of be catered to your particular product. So let's say I'm selling like I said before, I'm using another great example of a diet pill. And the diet pill costs $25. I don't think a good process for that would be to contact people on Facebook, 30 people a day on Facebook, and spend the time to try to build a relationship to get them to buy a diet pill. I think that particular type of product would be trying to figure out, how can I get the most amount of people to this particular product and decide at that particular moment that they want to buy a diet pill. So let's say it's that gardenia. I think that's the name of it. That's really hot right now. I saw an ad where they brought you to essentially a blog, kind of like a blog post, where they talked about all these celebrities that were having a lot of success with this particular pill, and that then tried to get you to buy the pill. And so that was their sales process, where they get you to click on an ad on a page. That ad took you to a blog post. The blog post told you the benefits of this gardenia fat burner, and then tried to get you to buy it. And that works because that particular pill is $25 to $30. I wouldn't take that same approach. I would take that approach to something like a diet pill. I wouldn't take that same approach with something that would have a buy-in of $2,000, because you would need to build more of a relationship with something like that. So it's really dependent upon what you're selling as opposed to what kind of sales process you need to have. But any sales process is better than no sales process, because once you have something, you can optimize it and tweak it to something that works. But having nothing will never work.
All right, all right. Well, I don't think we have any more questions, unless you got something, Jason.
No, that was the only one I had on my end.
All right. Well, we'll wrap it up with this, everybody. If you got value, please go to the group. I'm posting this right now inside the group. What was your number one takeaway on tonight's Monday Night Masterminds? So post your comment in the group, and we will see you next week. Make sure to be here for the copywriting presentation that I have ready for you guys. I mean, it's going to blow you guys away. I can't wait. I'm very, very excited to share all this really cool stuff that I learned in Florida last week. So we'll end it. Let's see. All right. Thanks a lot, Terry. And everybody take care and God bless, and we'll see you next week.